What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video, we're putting all these parts, minus the turbos over there, onto the 6.0. So let's get started. Alright, so first thing we're going to mention, the camera, as you can notice, is moving around now. I want to welcome Ethan to the channel, and he's going to be working the camera, working in the shop. You'll probably see him on some videos. But in this video here, we're going to be putting this head, along with these exhaust manifolds, onto the 6-liter powerstroke. I already have the other head on there. I didn't film that because there's no point in filming both heads. So, just like a layout of what we're doing again, over here we got Manton push rods, ARP 625 head studs. These are Blessed Performance's ported exhaust manifolds, and I just picked them up from getting Cerakoted, and they are going to look sweet.
They're gonna look really pretty.
I got some fingerprints on them just from moving them. And we gotta redo our rockers because some of them are bad.
Not looking so pretty?
No, you can see right there, she's a little chewed up.
Just a little bit.
There's a couple intakes and an exhaust on this side that we have to do. But first thing, you gotta prep the block surface. Clean out the holes, all the mounting holes, wipe down the mating surface for the head gasket, and just give everything a nice wipe down so it's all clean and ready to go for the head to be set on. Then we gotta get the rocker box on. M8 by 1.25, which are these 5 actually. Small holes up top. I've already done the other ones. So those are done, and then for the other holes, it is an M14 by 2. She's a biggin. So there, those are drilled out. Not drilled out, but cleaned out. So now I'm going to take some, mass airflow cleaner, but it is brake clean. Spray in all the holes, wipe down the surface, wipe down like everything, spray it in the holes, vacuum them out with a Schutz gun with a tube on it, and then we're ready to put our head gasket on. It's just a little homemade vacuum. If we're getting into tight places, it's just a Schutz gun with a tube on the end. But if you look, works really good. That'll vacuum all the crap out of the threads from chasing the holes.
There's a lot of stuff that gets down in there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Yeah. I guess especially from tapping them.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of crud up in there.
It's supposed to get caught in the tap, but some of it always falls down in.
Yeah.
It works really good. It's pretty.
Yeah, I mean for a little
simple thing.
For a little homemade thing, I mean,
does it mist a little bit in the air? Yes, it does.
but does it do its job?
But it does its job.
It does its job.
So now we're gonna get the rest of the crap off. I find for the shop towels, going over the coolant jacket, if you like rub it on it, it'll come apart. So I usually just kind of like
dab it up.
Dab it where the holes are, and then you can kind of rub where the holes aren't. And if you do get some debris in here, just clean it out and it's fine. Probably get my Schutz gun out of the garbage before I cover it up. So yeah, that's all prepped up. It's all good. Where did I put the head gasket?
Where did you put the head gasket?
It's right there.
Did you lose the head gasket?
No, I got it. I'm just trying to find the dowels. Should be 2 new ones here. They might have been in that box, but here is the head gasket. It is a Moly MLS gasket, which stands for multi-layer steel. I've been using Moly stuff for the past 14 years, since I've been open, and it's always great. Never had a problem with anything from Moly. They are a wonderful manufacturer.
Is there a difference between Moly stuff and other stuff?
There is. There used to be a thing called black onyx gaskets back in the day. I never used them. I was just using Moly stuff because that's what my machine shop told me to use. And Moly is an OEM manufacturer, so yeah, I've just always used Moly, and they've always worked. Now I gotta find the stinking dowels.
Where'd the dowels go?
So I couldn't find the new ones, so I'm just gonna use the old ones. It's not a huge deal to reuse them. They just hold the gasket in place. The gasket's gonna stay there anyway. But before you put the gasket on, you just wanna make sure there's no dirt or debris or grease or anything on it. You also make sure you put it the right way.
How do you know if it's the right way?
I'm gonna show you.
You're gonna show me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, this is the right way. These coolant ports line up with the holes, everything lines up. The push rod hole in the gasket lines up with the lifter. If you have it the wrong way, they don't line up.
I see.
And the holes up top don't line up either. So, you just gotta make sure you have it the right way, right like that. So now, we have the gasket on. Just thread the studs in. And these are ARP 625 studs.
And we don't use ARP 2000s.
We do not use ARP 2000s in this application because the head gasket will blow because of these two things right here. It's a ARP 625 plus. These are the head honchos of studs for the 6 liter. Well, for anything really, like unless you're going to a 14 millimeter stud, which these are, but Cummins are 12 mil. You can go to 14 mil, but you have to drill and tap the head in the block. These are about as big as you get.
And for most Cummins applications, you can use 2000s, no?
Yeah, usually.
Because your pull motor had 2000s, and that motor pushes, what, 1200?
It's around 1300 horse, and
Yeah.
it just had ARP 2000s in it. But I do want to redo it and use 625s, but that is a project for another time. Right now, this one's got to get done, because without this, I don't have anything to take my Cummins to anything with. And so you want to use the manufacturer's specified thread lube, because that's what they're made for. They're made for this lubricant, not other ones. You just take all these, thread them in. Ideally, you want to thread them until they bottom out, turn them out about a quarter of a turn. So then when you're tightening up, it lets everything kind of move and torque itself down. So we got our ARPs installed. Now it's time to clean the bottom of the head off and then set it down on. So these are power-driven diesel stage 2 ported and O-ringed heads. Now these have race springs. They are ported inside the intakes and the exhaust. So you can see, where's one on for that side? You can see down inside of here how you can see like the paint, and then there's a clean spot. That is the porting on that side there. And also in the exhaust, ported as well. I gotta clean the packing oil and stuff off of here yet. But you can see the O-rings right here. Now what the O-ring does is provide extra clamping force on the stock fire ring. So these gaskets, this part right here is called the fire ring, because that's the part of the gasket that basically holds the compression in. So the fire in the cylinder in. So a Cummins will have 2 more studs here. 6 liters only have 4 studs per hole, and that is a lot of the times why they will blow head gaskets, because the factory bolts are torqued to yield. They will stretch, and then boom, your head gasket's gone. With the ARP studs, they are not torqued to yield. They clamp down and provide way more clamping force than the torque to yield factory bolts, as well as this O-ring. It will clamp down on the factory fire ring here and just kind of crush in there, and we'll have no issues whatsoever.
No blown heads.
Every truck I do heads on with a 6 liter, I get a set of these heads now. Not just, not the stage 2 heads, but just like their OEM heads, which come O-ringed.
Oh, their OEM heads come O-ringed?
Yeah, like their street truck heads.
Yeah.
There's no porting on them. They're factory springs, factory everything, but they are O-ringed. So every truck I do heads on, I got 2 sitting out there right now to do it to. All of them get new heads, because I have had way too many problems with sending Ford heads to a machine shop. They have cracked guides. They have cracked valve seats. They just need way too much work. Buying these heads costs a little bit more sometimes than what you can get a machine for, but you know you have something good. And these heads are also available on our website, screamingdieselstore.com. So if you want to pick up a set and you live in Canada, we're a PDD dealer, So head over to the store. You can get yourself a set of the stage 2, stage 1, and also the stock heads. So now I'm gonna get the oil and stuff off of here. Oh, and I'll put a link in the description below on where to get the heads to the website, basically.
Same deal as the other ones. You just want to tap them.
Yeah, same deal as the other one. You just want to tap them because you can get the fibers and stuff in the coolant ports. Where there's not coolant ports, you can rub a little bit, but best just to tap it.
Just be a little careful.
A little late in the day for this.
Line up them holes.
There, now that is set on. I do like how all the gaskets are these O-ring gaskets. They're a rubber gasket, so they seal up nice. I still put a little bit of this stuff on it. It's just aviation gasket, just to kind of hold everything and make sure it's going to seal.
Is there any other kind of gasket that you could use besides that?
No, that's what these are. Well, you
Yeah.
can use paper gaskets.
Yeah.
Or like a steel gasket, like on a Duramax mouth cover, but I don't like those.
Rather.
The chance of screwing them up is,
Quite high.
yeah.
I see.
And again, I always put some of that on them, and because when I first started working on stuff, I had problems with some leaks and whatnot, but that was years ago. So you learn from stuff like that.
You learn things in the trade as you go along.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that that's on there, there are these 4 bolts. Well, there's 4 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the outside. There's a little bit of blue Loctite on them. Not the red, because eventually they may have to come out.
And if you put red on, they're not going to come out.
The red's a little aggressive. All right, so it is the next day. We are back. Got a little bit late last night, so decided to pack her in and finish doing this because we were at a point where couldn't really do half of it because you have to put the rockers and stuff on and oil it, and the head is not technically clamped down, so oil can potentially get under the head gasket and cause all kind of issues. So we're back now. But yeah, we got this rocker box bolted on, just these bolts here. I think the torque spec on those was 28 inch-pounds. So they're tightened down. I just did these studs, just snugged them up just to keep the head down so the head gasket's not flopping around too much. And to do those, you want to take your ARP lube, put it on the bottom, put the washer on, put it again, put it on the threads, and thread the nut down. So we had a customer come in, so we're just going to take it up from here. Yeah, where we're at now, I just threaded these down and just snugged them down so it holds the gasket tight and the head doesn't like move around while we're doing the other stuff. So now we have to get our rocker assemblies ready. I've already broke them down. Got to put new rockers on a couple of them, but all of them are getting new plastic clips. This is kind of a dumb setup in my opinion, but
Why is it dumb?
I don't know. It's just a plastic clip that, like, it just doesn't look good in my opinion, but it works. Sometimes the clips will break and the rocker arm will fall off, but technically when you have the rocker in there, the spring pressure keeps it and this clip just doesn't even do anything.
Is there like a fix for that? Can you get something different? Like,
You can get a Jessel whole valve train that doesn't have these. It's a whole different setup, but
it's a lot of money.
$5,000. So
Yeah.
we're gonna pass on that. But yeah, I'm just gonna get these set up. I'm gonna show you how to do one. These are labeled exhaust and intake. The exhaust rockers are the long ones. The intake rockers are the short ones. Take some assembly lube just to keep some oil in there. And then like so. Take the exhaust rocker. Just gotta make sure I put the tabs on the right side like that. And if I break these ones, I do have a bunch more, so it's always a little tricky to get them in the first time. Right like that. So we have the two tabs over these little ridges here. That holds them in place, and they will rock. So that's how you do them. All right, so now I got all those put together. They're all on there. We got all new bridges to go on this side because there was a bunch of worn ones. So I bought new bridges to put on, so everything will be nice on here. And for push rods, there's a set of Manton push rods.
Those are pretty.
They are a heavy-duty push rod for the 6 liter that will not bend. I'm sure you could bend them somehow, but what we need to do is, all new parts, you do have to still clean them. So now that the center hole is all cleaned up, the reason for the center hole is to lubricate your rockers. So the push rod sits down in here, the rocker goes on top of it, and as the hydraulic lifter pumps, it pumps oil up through the push rod and it runs down the lifter onto your valve train. But before we put them in, we put a little bit of assembly lube on them so they're not sitting in there dry. I mean, the lifters were pre-filled, so there should be oil in them, but just to make sure, you put a little bit on the ends of the push rods. And they just go in like so. So there's those. Now we put a little assembly lube on the top of them as well. So we got assembly oil on the push rod. Also have to put it on the valve stems because we're putting our bridges on. This is why I didn't want to do this last night and get half done, because if this oil runs into where the head gasket is, you will have problems. So now those are on, and we're going to put some assembly oil where the rocker will make contact. Then, take your rocker, this is an intake rocker, it goes on the edge here, goes in like so. Then I will take the hold down bolt, do a little bit of blue Loctite. I'm not going to tighten this down all the way, because if you tighten these, then it starts to put pressure on the springs, and it'll actually like lift the head up a little bit. So I'm just gonna like snug these in to hold there, and then once I get them all on, I'll put the head stud nut on, tighten it down snugly so it can't come up, then tighten the rockers down, because you're not supposed to torque the head until the rocker is tightened down. All right, so we got those. These are just like hand tight. They're still not quite tightened down all the way because it started to compress the valve springs, and I didn't want to compress them and start putting pressure on it until I had the head bolts on there. So now we have to take the assembly lube, put it on the bottom there. Then you take the washer, you give it some more, because you want all the surfaces to slide and not bind. I'm just going to kind of tighten these down just to snug them up and flatten everything out, and then I'm going to torque the rocker hold down bolts to, I think they were 23,
I think you said?
23 foot-pounds. Okay, so those are done. Now the fun part, the head bolts. Okay, so we found the torque spec. The torque spec is actually 265 foot-pounds. So you do that in 3 equal stages. The first go around is 90, the second is 180, and the third is 265. And then you tighten this inner row to 25. So
begin the process.
yes, I'll get going on. $90.
That's 180 done.
Ethan's gonna give one a go at 265.
Oh yeah. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's quite a bit easier.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I know we said we were going to get to the manifolds and stuff, but that will be another time. We're running a little long on here, trying to figure some stuff out with filming stuff, not with the engine. We had that all down. But yeah, there's the head on, valve train in, and everything on this side. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it informational and entertaining. And if you have any questions or looking to buy any of these parts, feel free to shoot us a message. Or you can go to our website, screamingdieselstore.com, and pick it up for yourself. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.